What's up guys, and welcome back to the F1 2006 Career Mode Championship on F1 Championship Edition. We're here for the French Grand Prix. We're driving for Toyota Racing. If you've missed the last few episodes, we did a mid-season swap with Red Bull, and now we're in a much more competitive car at a track where we should do pretty well if history is anything to go by. So without further ado, let's recontinue this series and hopefully get ourselves a race win today.
The wonderfully serene rural peace here at Magny Cours is about to be shattered as we enter phase one of Saturday's qualifying session.
That is disgusting. That lap is allowed to count as a qualifying lap, and you know what? A 14.7, that is still... What the hell? What the actual hell? I don't think I've ever done that before. I have never done that before on a qualifying lap. And that is going to get us through to Q3.
We'll continue with session 3 of qualifying in a few moments.
That is actually ridiculous. I've crashed and I was sitting there for half a second. I'm like, oh crap, I've just crashed. I'm like, hang on a second, I can still keep going. So I put the throttle down and I crossed the line to do a 14.7. It was a brilliant lap up until that point. And I think, you know, the way that we nailed the 90% of that lap gave us the buffer to actually get into Q3 there. How ridiculous is that? Alright, so I feel like I do have a little bit of pace in hand over these guys this weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit longer in the weekend, maybe one lap longer. And that should give me some kind of a benefit at the back end of the race. I'm also going to go with hard compound tyres for this third qualifying session. However, I feel like the game just may stick me on soft tyres anyway. So off we go for qualifying 3. Let's see how we do on heavier fuel. 16.0. That's slower than the lap we did in Q2 where we crashed out. Here we go. This will be the penultimate lap of the session now. We're in pole position at the moment. I think Fisichella is like literally 100th behind me at the moment. So we need to keep pushing. Completely stuffed up this lap. We've got one more lap left. The game will permit us to finish this lap because it is qualifying 3. We can run till the session runs out, and I can still get nabbed for pole position here at the death, so let's keep going. And would you look at that, we actually just did. Fisichella moves to a 15.978. He must only fractionally be in front of me at the moment.
Felipe Massa completes a fast lap. He'll want to do better than that in the race tomorrow. Before session 3, he'll have had thoughts about the front 2 or 3 rows for sure.
Really pushing here. I pretty much maximised that middle sector there. Probably scrubbed off a little bit too much speed in that previous corner just there. But now third sector, this is all pretty simple. Third gear, down to second to get the nose in. And then try and use the first part of that chicane. You can do that. And we go pole. Pole position. 14.9. 14.9. We pulled a second out of somewhere over the course of that lap. Must have been the third sector. I don't think I hit the third sector as good as what I did on that final lap there. Every other lap was kind of like little mistakes here and there. But wow. Pole position for the French Grand Prix. And we nab it by a second on the very last lap of the session. Unbelievable scenes.
So there we have it. From 10th to pole, the grid order looks like this.
If you looked at the sector times over the course of that lap, it didn't look that impressive, to be honest. But in the end, we've stolen pole position at the death, and Montoya got the best lap over the course of the weekend. He's down in P6. Maybe he was running with additional fuel. So it's going to be interesting to see when Montoya pops out near the end of the race. So there we go, pole position for the French Grand Prix. I can't believe it. We're in good stead for the race. So without further ado, let's get on with the French Grand Prix.
Welcome to Magny Cours, and we're here live for this year's French Grand Prix.
It's going to be an interesting old race, this one. If you remember back to Season 1, I think we bottled it on the last lap and crashed out of that Grand Prix. I'm going to make amends and make sure we win this one by an absolute mile. Alright, here we go. Ready for the French Grand Prix. 10 red lights, starting from pole position. We don't start from up here very often. Away we go for the French Grand Prix. It looks like the reaction time was pretty good, I must say. It's going to be a drag race between myself and Fisichella. We leave him just a little bit of space to go up the inside if he wants. But we lead from turn 1. I saw a bit of a traffic jam back there. I think someone's made contact. We'll see who it is. Wow. So Webber's out of the Grand Prix. I see one or two other cars also slowing down from the back of that, so... Oh no.
At this moment,
Ben.
you knew he fucked up.
There are yellow flags out in sector 2, so don't overtake until you see the green flag, please.
Oh my goodness me! Michael Schumacher, right at the death, went up the inside there. Didn't quite have the traction to get back in front of me, but you cut to the action now. And Fisichella overtook us after we get the slowdown penalty. He's taken out a bollard right in front. There's yellow flags in front. In Sector 2 as well. It's all happening here in the French Grand Prix. I thought this was going to be a bit of a boring race, to be honest. Pulling away and just cruising to the finish like it was no man's business. But now, we've got some work to do. Do I dare go up the inside? I'm trying to find a weakness of Fisichella's at the moment. It's weird because in clean air, I just pull away from him quite a lot. But then when I'm stuck behind him, I kind of don't really have the confidence to pass him up the inside somewhere. So it's going to have to be into a heavy braking zone, possibly. We saw in the previous lap, Michael Schumacher was a demon under the brakes. We've just got to be more ballsy coming into those corners. So we may give it a go. Probably not on this lap because we're not close enough. But if we get within range, we're definitely going to lunge Fisichella.
Is fifth. Montoya sixth.
Oh, there it is. That's the weakness. It's the exit of that corner. Now I remember. Oh yeah, that was close. Every time I go and talk, the engineer just butts in and goes, "Hey, mind if I steal your limelight?" Piss off, engineer. Oh my goodness me.
2 tenths up on the second sector.
That's a nice little bonus, isn't it? 4 laps into this race, we're starting to edge away from Fisichella now. I think we started on the hard compound tyres because that's what we ran in Q3. And now that's starting to show as the guys on soft tyres are starting to fade away with tyre wear. So this is the segment of the race where now things are going to go our way. 14.6. Wow, that's already bettered our qualifying 3 mark.
You made great time in that final sector. Great news, you just got the fastest lap of the race. Nice one.
Honestly, it's all praise and positive news from the engineer. I've never seen him so upbeat about a Grand Prix. Here we go, into the pits now for our stop. 7 laps has gone very, very quickly. I feel like I'm at a place with this car where I'm just so comfortable that I'm not even having to push. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We can go really easy on this stop, and I'm going to be really conservative, and we're still going to merge in the lead. That's the kind of position we're in this race at the moment. Very comfortable place. I'm not, overly pushing the car, and it's really paying dividends in this second half of the race. We'll see where we end up as we rejoin. We've done the overcut, so that should help us. And, yeah, Montoya is absolutely nowhere near us.
Yellow flag, sector 1. So don't
Uh-oh. Yellow flags in Sector 1 and a lap car right in front of me. It's the last lap now. I'm not going to take any risks here.
Good final sector. Your best so far this session.
Let's see if the blue flags work. I think, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That was a risk if I ever saw one. Here we go, guys. I've been waiting all race long for this. We've finally come across the line. We've won another race. It's the French Grand Prix. And that's going to do us a world of good in the drivers' standings. So there we go, we've won the French Grand Prix. I got a bit of a clumsy corner cut penalty on the last lap there, but there was really nothing really in there. I was actually backing off quite a bit on that last lap. 6 seconds was the difference. I was actually leading by over 10 seconds. I lost 6 seconds due to the corner cutting penalty, but in the first stint, we just reigned supreme. Somehow, we just continued to find time, like lap after lap, and continued to get faster and faster. And we did the overcut on everyone, and we just worked the strategy to perfection. In the second half of that race, I was kind of in cruise control there, and I was just surprised at how I was able to build the gap without really pushing. And when you're quick, when you're like in the groove, it just all works out for you. I can fully understand how Lewis Hamilton just wins Grand Prix with absolute ease sometimes and says how he wasn't pushing. But in the driver's standings, Felipe Massa still reigns supreme in first place. Michael Schumacher moves up to second place after he finished second for the French Grand Prix. Fisichella, not the best outing for him. He drops to third. I actually didn't even see where I was in the driver's standing. So we're going to have a look at that after we get back to the menus. And already, Toyota Racing has overtaken Red Bull Racing. What an incredible day this has been for us and the team. Congratulations, a new trophy has been added to your trophy room. Well, thank you very much. Formula 1 Grand Prix de France for 2006. We'll continue. When we get to the end of the season, we'll have a better look at the trophy room once again, leading into the final few races of the season. I want to pick up as many trophies as I can, especially that World Drivers title. That's what I'm ultimately looking forward to. The next race will be the Grand Prix of Germany. I believe it's going to be Nürburgring, but I don't quote me on that exactly. We'll have a look at the emails and see if there's anything else we have to do. Outstanding victory, brilliant race at the Circuit de Magny Cours, and a fantastic race win for the team. There's a real buzz of excitement around the team at the moment, and a lot of this is down to you and your abilities. Keep it up. Thank you very much, guys. So that has been this episode for today, the French Grand Prix. We've absolutely smashed it. One of the most dominating victories there that I've had in this career mode so far. It's a bit of a shame, though, that I got that corner cutting penalty on the last lap. Otherwise, we would have had a gap of 10 seconds plus. But either way, we got the results in the end. And before we ran off this episode, I said we would have a look at the driver's standings and see exactly where we are. It's P5 at the moment. We re-overtook Jenson Button, I believe. Fernando Alonso 13 points in front of us. So ultimately, we're gonna need to win a few more races to really get in the mix there. Once we can catch up to, I'd say, Fisichella, then we'll be right in the game to win this championship, possibly, if things happen. Of course, there is still going to be retirements here and there, so we've got to make the most of those when some of the championship leaders have those. So ultimately, we've got to be consistent, we've got to be quick, and above all else, we've just got to just keep our cool and just see where it takes us towards the end of this championship. Thank you guys for watching. This series, I think, is going to come to an end at the end of this season. We're going to venture off and do something else. So ultimately, if I'm going to have the utmost success in this series, it's got to come in this season. So we'll see what happens. But this definitely won't be the very last season on my YouTube channel. I think I'll resume this maybe after F1 2016 comes out. So either way, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time. My driver does look like he's about 40 or 50 years old there.